What's going on? This is Kareem from DJBooth.net, and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a really quick rundown video review of the brand new Roland DJ-707M mobile DJ controller. So what we have here is a Serato DJ controller through and through. It's a 4-channel DJ controller, but it's nice and compact. Usually when you see a 4-channel DJ controller, they're a lot longer, they're a lot taller, wider, and they have a lot bigger components. But this is nice and compact, and it's small enough so you can take it with you on the go. It's very heavy, so it tells you that they definitely have metal reinforcements throughout. On the back pane, you can see metal throughout where the inputs and outputs are. On the front, it feels pretty solid. Here on the front deck plate where you have your faders, they're all removable, so that way you can service all of the middle mixer portion of the controller very easily. You can also change this crossfader for something like an innofader very easily as well, straight from the top. And it has a really good construction all around, built very well, very sturdy, and it really reminds me of Denon DJ's MC6000 lineup. It really looks the same and kind of feels almost the same as well. I think the MC6000 was just a little bit more robust than this, a little bit better build quality because it was metal everywhere. There is a little bit of plastic in the design here, but it's probably made that way in order to save down on some of the weight. Because this is a Roland type machine, you also have your Serato DJ included, and along with that you also get some drum patterns from the TR Roland series as well that are on board, so that way you can mix those sounds with your different DJ inputs, and you can also use it with Serato DJ, mixing and matching those inputs on the fly. So first up, setup was very easy. All you have to do is download the latest Serato DJ software from the website, and then you can go and grab the driver if you have a Windows machine, and then you just plug in one of your 2 USB ports, you're ready to go. The inputs and outputs that we have here are the 2 microphone inputs all the way to the left. Then you have your 4 RCA inputs. 2 of them can be used by line or phono. The other ones are all line. Then you have your master outputs, which are RCA. You also have XLR, you have booth, and then you also have a zone RCA output that also has its own dedicated volume knob with it as well. Then you have a MIDI out. Then you have your 2 USB ports, so you can easily switch between DJs or use 2 DJs to DJ at the same time using this device. Also very cool for the outputs is that you can assign different channels to your zone output. You can also change the different parameters for that output. You can make it mono, stereo, you can change the pan, you can change all types of cutoffs and everything, so that way you can have the perfect zone out, the perfect booth out, or the perfect master out that you need at any given time. You also have presets for all of your microphone inputs as well, whereas you can change the decibels of each one of your microphone inputs, so that way it's perfect for the volume for the microphone situation that you're using it for. Also on the front, you have the, all the way to the left, headphone section where you have your mixing knob, then you have your headphones level knob along with 2 different headphone outputs. You have the 1/4 inch and you also have the mini. Then you have a split and stereo Q switch. Then you have the crossfader controls right on the front, in front of where the crossfader is situated. There you can change the curve control right there with the hardware control. And you also have your channel 1 through 4 A, B, and through switches, so that way you can decide which side of the crossfader that the channel actually resides upon. You also have all the way to the left more inputs. You have 2 left and right balanced inputs that can also be used as microphone inputs. And then you also have a stereo input that can be used for your mini or smaller jacks for your different devices or your smartphones. And then you also have a volume knob for that, and you can change this between the mono, stereo, and microphone setting. You can also change the parameters of your microphone settings within the menu as well for these microphones on the front. So in total, you can have up to 4 microphones working at one time with this unit. So that's a lot of inputs and outputs, perfect for mobile DJs when they have many different setups or they just have many different devices that they want to connect to a unit like this. So now let's put this bad boy on the desk and see exactly what we have. All right, so here it is, the Roland DJ-707M. And the M definitely means mobile DJ, because this is one of the best DJ controllers you can get to date for mobile DJ applications. It has so many inputs, so many outputs. You can put 4 microphones on this thing. It has full microphone controls. It has so many different fail safes and so many different ways that you can connect other devices. It's just perfect for the person who needs to be in all different types of setups. It has so many outputs, your zone, your booth, and your master outputs, and you can control them and adjust all of their different parameters. You can put limiters and compressors on each one of them, so everything comes out perfectly just the way you want it. You can EQ them separately from the EQs you see here, separately as well within the software or within the internal menu screen that you see here, and we'll show you that in a second. But right off the bat, you have your inputs on the back that are also Serato DVS ready if you get the upgrade. Once you get the DVS upgrade, you can actually plug in turntables and your different time code machines, your vinyl or your CD decks, and you can actually use these on the outside while you're using this device. So right off the bat, the crossfader is very, very good. It is fully replaceable, as are the other faders and the other mechanisms you see here on the front. You can see that this is metal here in the middle, so that way you can easily service this area and replace anything that you may need to over time. Same goes for the crossfader. You can definitely fit an inner fader in there. They have one available. All you have to do is unscrew this top slots, and then you'll be ready to drop in an inner fader. But the crossfader is really, really good as it is. It has a really low cut-in distance, and it just works really, really nicely right out of the box. I'll show you guys a quick demo so you can see the slow or short cut-in distance. Less than 0.5 millimeter maybe. So very good crossfader, very crisp, feels good. It is a little clicky and a little loud, but it does feel like it's definitely built to last. The line faders themselves, they have a little bit more resistance to them, but they are a little looser than some of the other mixer or control interfaces that are out there. Next up, you have your Q buttons here, and you also have your vocal FX keys here when you press shift. Then you have your sampler volume control in the middle, zone volume control, booth volume control, and master volume controls, all in the middle. Again, your headphone information was on the front here for all of your headphone output needs on the front. Right next to that, next up, you have your filter effects knobs, and you will be able to change the filter effects to the different effects that they have listed up here on the screen. We'll go through those once we get to the screen portion, but you have your filters, you have echoes, you have reverbs. So really cool, different, intuitive things you can do right here on the fly by just using these filter effects knobs. Next, you have your low, mids, and high EQs. They are full kill, and you also have your trim gain knob at the top. And at the top, you also have your different selectors, so that way you can be in PC mode, or you can be in line mode, or you can be in TR mode when you're in line number 3, or when you're in line number 4, you can be in oscillator mode. So we'll throw line number 4 in oscillator mode and give you a quick demo. So they have an oscillator in here built in, and they also have built in the TR drum sounds. Once you go to deck number 3 and you go to your TR drum sounds, you can now select your different patterns that you want to use. And they have trap patterns, house patterns, techno patterns, EDM patterns, and we'll just maybe play a couple of these so you can see what they play like. So you can easily mix these on the fly with the other decks that you have playing in Serato or that you have playing live. You don't need this connected to Serato in any way in order to use any one of those TR effects. You can do that in standalone mode all day. Next up, all the way at the top, you have your microphone sections. This is where you can control your microphone 1 and microphone 2. Your microphone 3 and 4 controls are on the front, and also within the screen we'll show you the different parameters you can adjust with those. But mic 1 and 2, you have your on and off. You also have your duck, so that way everything lowers, so that way you can talk through the microphone. You also have effects here, so that way you can put effects on both of your microphones. You have your level volume control knob, your low, mid, and highs for each one, and you have your vocal effects here too, so that way you can do effects on your vocals that you would do also on your channels. Really cool to have that included right here so you can easily control them and manipulate them on the fly. Next up is the deck itself. You can change between PCA and PCB. That will change between your two different USBs that you have on the back. You have your different browsing functions over here. You can push to select and load. It's a nice encoder. It feels like it's very, very solid. And it also has a back button, a view button, and an A prep and an open prep. And then you also have your deck 1 and 3 here, so that way you know exactly what deck you're in at any given time within Serato DJ. The other side has your 2 and 4. Next, you have your pitch sliders. You have very high resolution pitch sliders, but they are on the shorter side, but they definitely do get the job done. They're definitely high resolution. I can feel it in them when I'm using it, and it just works very, very well. And they also feel pretty solid as well, but I just wish they might have been just a little bit longer. Next, you have your jog wheels. The jog wheels are metal on the top. Very, very nice jog wheels. They're actually very accurate, but they're also on the smaller side, which is also one of my minor gripes with the unit, but they do work very, very accurately. Next, you have your usual suspects here for all of your pad modes within Serato DJ. I'll just go through them. They're the hot cue, the cue loop, the auto loop, the roll, the manual and save loop, the slicer loop, sampler, and pitch play. You have your play, pause buttons and your cue buttons here on the side. They look like they're metal, but I believe they're just painted that way. But they're nice and solid, hard plastic, and they have a nice illumination to them so you can see when you're ready to play. But the pads themselves, they do not have a click to them, and they're very, very, very responsive. You can easily drum with these pads with 2 hands. Okay, so all the way in the upper right hand corner you have a screen. It's just a 2-line screen. Wish it would have been bigger. I mean, there's a little bit more space here. Would have been nice to be a color screen. Maybe you can get more information in there at once, because there is a lot going on in this screen. But we'll show you everything that they have here. All the way at the top you have scene edit, and the scenes that you're allowed to create are actually the scenes of your different outputs and inputs. You can create a scene to have your microphones at a certain level, to have your zone at a certain compression, have your booth at a certain limiter, and so on and so forth. You can actually EQ everything from in there as well. So you go to scene edit, you can go to your mixer settings, your mic 1 settings, mic 2 settings. We'll go into one of your microphone settings so you can see you have a gain in here, you have your EQ, you have your FX, and you can change whatever FX you want it to be. It can be echo, reverb and echo, dub, echo, pitch up, pitch down, formant up, formant down, auto pitch, robot, double, harmony above, harmony below, megaphone, radio, tempo, delay. So you have a lot here to choose from. Also on the screen, you can adjust the different effects you have here. Your filter effects knobs, this will correspond to that. You have the option to change all of your effects, all of the different knobs, or your individual knobs can be whatever you want them to be. So the different effects that you have here for your knobs are filter, dub, echo, jet, noise, reverb, delay, bit crush, phaser, noise 2, noise 1, side change, slicer, roll, roll filter, loop pitch, loop filter, vinyl sim. So it's a lot to choose from there as well. Also on the screen, when you switch over to deck 3, you'll be able to see your drum machine information for your TR. And you have your different patterns in here. You have your tools 1, tools 2, tools 3, hip hop 1, trap 1, house 2, techno, so on and so forth. Alright, so in conclusion, the new Roland DJ-707M is perfect for mobile DJ use because it has a compact size, it has a nice, sturdy, solid construction, kind of like the MC6000 MK2 back in the day. It also has so many inputs and outputs. It has the 4 microphone inputs, the 4 outputs. It also has the 4 mixer inputs. It has a stereo input jack on the front. And it just has a lot of different ways that you can connect different devices to the DJ-707. It also has the input and output scene setting savings, and also being able to recall those different settings if you're using the same venue or the same type of show or gig over and over. It also comes bundled with the full Serato DJ Pro Edition software, and it has internal preset TR drum patterns and internal effects that can be used as well on any of your external inputs or your Serato inputs coming in. On the downside, the jog wheels are pretty small, as are the small style pitch sliders, but they both are very high resolution and they both work very, very well. And it also has Serato DJ effects controls that are a little bit different than what I'm used to. I like having the 3 separate knobs so that way I can tweak 2 different effects at the same time without having them share a common knob right here in the middle. So for more on the full written review or the written review summary, you can head on over to www.djbooth.net/DJS. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you like videos like this one. Make sure you guys subscribe so that way you know exactly when the next videos are coming out. And as always, thanks for watching.